What is the most exciting BMW that you can not only own, but drive? Well, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's this. This is a 2001 BMW M3, baby. And as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't get any better than this. Now, I'm a big BMW lover. I own a 2001 325 Ci. Put a lot of money into it. That's my toy. Of course, I'm still putting money into it, as you do when you are, I guess, a bit of a rev head or people that love cars like you. This one, though, is fantastic. Now, since we've had it, I have taken the liberty of taking it out for a few days and driving it around. And look, I'm a little sad because it's going to be a bit difficult to get back into my 325 Ci after driving this one. My name's Paul Stevens. Welcome to www.uniquecardealer.com.au. Let's get this out on the road. Let's do the tests. Let's talk about the SMG gearbox, which I'm sure there are a few of you out there that maybe don't like them, maybe because you've never driven one. We'll discuss how you drive them and how you actually can enjoy them. This one, it's got 123,000 kilometers on the clock. It's amazing. Let's go. So one of the first things you notice when you drive one of these M3s, particularly if you're in like a situation like mine where I've got the 325 Ci, is the vast difference in response with the acceleration. It does have 333 horsepower, 264 pounds of torque. It's a completely different beast of a car, but it's so comfortable to drive. It's the car's tight, the suspension is great, the steering is very direct. Bearing in mind that this car is a 2001 model, you jump in almost any 2001 vehicle, they don't drive like this. There is no comparison. This thing drives like it's just come out of the showroom floor. I mean, obviously, yes, it depends on how they're maintained. Speaking of that, this one has just fantastic service history to it. Always being serviced by either a BMW accredited workshop or, more importantly, by a BMW dealership. The all-important rear subframe has been removed and has been strengthened. Now, this is a SMG model. Look, some people shy away from the SMGs. I think it's because you don't understand the SMGs and how you can drive them very, very comfortably. And, the trick, well, in my opinion, the trick to drive one of these SMGs is if you're driving it manually on the shifter, you almost rev match when you're changing gears. So if you're going through the gears, before you change up a gear or change down a gear, take your foot off the accelerator. And then as you go in, match it, and you'll find after a while that it'll be very, very smooth, and you'll have no issues whatsoever in regards to enjoying the vehicle. With this model, they also came out with the flappy paddles on the steering wheel, which are just brilliant. I'll override the shifter now with them. Using the paddles on the steering wheel, it's very smooth if you're not caning the car, if you're not driving it spirited, as they say. Just very smooth changes. I'm not touching the accelerator. I'm not accelerating at the time. I'm just going through the gears. The other thing about this car too is virtually any gear that you're in, if you floor it, there's so much power that's being delivered to the rear wheels. I like to sometimes cast my mind back to the eras or the years when cars were made, and if you think about what was around in 2001 when the M boys came out with this thing, not a lot to compete with it. You know, these things were just a serious contender in the marketplace. Now, the other thing to consider too is that these are going up in value, and they're going up in value all the time. If you can find yourself a nice, decent, well-maintained, looked after M3 like this one is, it's a good investment. It, you know, you can enjoy it, you can be spirited with it, take it on the track, take care of it, but it's always going up in value. As opposed to the 325 Ci that I own. Look, I bought that car, it's a toy, I love driving the vehicle. I've done my own mods on the car. That's just what I do. But whereas with an M3 like this, don't touch it. Don't mod it, don't do anything with it. Keep it all original, and the values just keep going up on them. Now, we're very, very fortunate to have this car at the dealership. As I mentioned in other videos, we are a sell on behalf dealer, so we don't own the vehicles. You can go to our website at www.uniquecardealer.com.au, where you will find this M3 and all the other cars that we represent. If you want to come and look at this M3, you can come down to our dealership. We are at 170 Brisbane Road, Arundel, here on the Gold Coast in Australia, if you're from overseas. There's a big shopping centre right opposite our dealership called Harbour Town Shopping Centre, so you really can't miss us. You can come down if you are a serious player and you are wanting an M3. I am more than happy to get out on the road with you in this car. We may get a little spirited, but we always stick to the speed limit. But I think anyone that looks at this car and drives this car, they'll buy it straight away. I can't think of a better example of one of these in Australia. I know that's a tall thing to say, but this one, with its service records, with its history, it's just beautiful. These M3s they had a wider track than the, for example, my car, the standard E46. They just delivered a race-going version that you could drive on the road. The steering wheel is lovely. The seats, just fantastic. They've got the bigger bolsters on the side, so they do hug you. This one drives beautifully. It's nice and quiet. But when you give it the beans, you know, you give it some. Those twin exhausts out the back, you know you're in one of these cars. Beautiful to drive. I keep saying that, but it really is beautiful to drive. It is going to be very hard for me to let this one go, and get back into my little E46. But that's life. That's the business that we're in. I did have thoughts about maybe buying this myself, but I've probably got too many cars already. Go to our website, www.uniquecardealer.com.au. You will see this car and all the other cars that we represent. We are the preeminent sell on behalf dealership here on the Gold Coast, and all of our cars are available for viewing. You will find a showroom with amazing vehicles in it, and then look, you'll come onto the yard and you will find amazing vehicles like this one. I'm Paul Stevens. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click the like button, share the video. Until I see you again, take care of yourself.